I guess it's working. So, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Adan Rahman and I am currently final year MBBS student in Sahiwal Medical College, Sahiwal, and here I am making my first video. So, basically, I have delayed the process of making my own YouTube channel. I have always wanted it, and I wanted it like it felt very personal to me. I am not a big fan of like putting captions. I think they faked it out. Like they take the essence of the video itself. So it's like a one to one conversation. Like you can think of this video as that. So the topic is why you should believe in yourself. Okay, I know we have heard about it, we have read it somewhere that be yourself, believe in yourself, and yeah, you got to be yourself, and you are you, and they are not you. So, yeah, it felt good. You got motivated for some time, and yeah, I am from this generation and I use Insta and a lot of other stuff, and you get that quote that has been written somewhere, and yeah, you read it, you felt very emotional, you felt very motivated, and then okay, but I think every step you that's the part of basically your personality. So I think we have to make our mind believe that thing. We have to consciously take those steps, and then maybe we can make it as a part of our personality. Okay, and yeah, so that's the basically the logic of all of it. Why do you need to be yourself? Why can't you just like fake it till you make it? And that's another thing, maybe we'll talk about it some other day, but I'm just going to make a very this video is going to be very short. So basically, imagine that I'm just going to give you one example, and imagine that you are given a crown. Everyone, every human being here in this world is given a crown, okay, and the crown is one of a kind, okay. So imagine that you are not wearing your own crown, okay, because you are not being yourself, you are not taking it seriously, you are बेसिकली हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं कि आप अपनी खुद ही रिस्पेक्ट नहीं कर रहे, आप अपने आप को इतना वर्दी समझ ही नहीं रहे, एंड दैट क्राउन इज़ वेरी यू कैन से यूनिक, ठीक है। उसकी वर्थ जो है वो बाकियों से कम नहीं है, बट यू आर आप अब उसको समझ ही नहीं रहे, आप जो हैं वो अपने आप को वैल्यू ही नहीं दे रहे। मैं अपनी लाइफ में एक पॉइंट पे थी दैट ऑफ कोर्स you are immature, and that's another thing. Like okay, with age, when you go through the life, when you meet people, um, you evolve a lot, okay. And that's the part of basically you can say being mature. Yeah, but we got to think about it. We need to think that that's the problem, and I need to change that, okay, because we cannot be okay with this idea of not being yourself, okay. So my I know that you think it's important and you want to be yourself, but the problem is your mind, the feeding that's not proper, okay. So you are not building that idea. That's why you maybe at one point, okay, you think like okay, now I'm gonna change myself, I'm gonna believe in myself, but you don't know how. So it's just you can say it's just an illusion that comes and go on and off, okay. So you have to think about it in this sense that you are given a crown, and you have to take that crown as if that is your whole world, okay. So what happens when you don't believe in yourself? For example, you don't know your preferences, you don't know your opinions, you don't know like what you like, what you don't like, and you don't stand out against the people who are doing wrong to you. And you are constantly you are a people pleasing, you are pleasing the other people, you are adjusting yourself, adapting yourself to the others so that they can be at ease, and while you are not at your own peace. Okay, so and when that comes on the long way, when that goes on for a longer period of time, so what happens is basically it create anxiety in you. Okay, so you become anxious, you because you are not satisfied with yourself, you want to improve, or maybe even if you don't think it's a problem still, because ये जाती है आपके अपने साथ, ठीक है। वो कहते हैं ना और एंशियसनेस कहाँ से आती है, आई वॉज रीडिंग इट समवेयर एंड दे से दैट आप परेशान तब होते हैं जब आपको लगता है कि ना आप गलत कर रहे हैं कुछ, बट यू आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इट दैट यू आर डूइंग रॉन्ग। सो आप जस्टिफाई करते हैं उसे डिफरेंट तरीक़ों से, ठीक है। मे बी दैट पर्सन इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू मी, मे बी आई एम ओके me being this way, okay, me being people pleaser, I am okay with that, but the problem is you inside you know that कि आप जाती कर रहे हैं अपने साथ, ठीक है। सो दैट्स हाउ यू लूज योर सेल्फ इन अ वे, ओके, यू आर जस्टिफाइंग इट कि नहीं मैं ठीक है, मैं अडाप्ट कर रहा हूँ, आपको लग रहा है ठीक है आपकी सेक्रीफाइस से सारे बहुत खुश हो रहे हैं, बट दैट्स नॉट द केस, एंड इन द होल प्रोसेस ऑफ इट यू लूज योर सेल्फ। सो मतलब कि आपके आने का दैट यू आर वन ऑफ अ काइंड, ओके, आप अपने आप को, आप जहाँ पे हंसना चाह रहे हैं आप हंस नहीं रहे, यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट लाइक व्हाट दैट पर्सन वुड थिंक। आप जहाँ पे कोई बात करना चाह रही हैं, आपको कहीं बुरा लगा, आप मना नहीं कर रहे, और आपको लगता है कि लाइक इट्स ओके, नो दैट इज़ नॉट टोटली ओके विद ओके। सो हमें करना क्या है, यू और आप कोई काम नहीं कर रहे, फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्ज़ाम्पल वेरी common one that you people will relate to, कि एक टाइम पे and now I think about it and I am really like have you lost yourself, I talk to myself that way कि मैं ये सोचती थी कि देखें अगर इंस्टा पे वो रीपोस्ट करने वाला आया ना एक ऑप्शन that I'm gonna repost this story, so it's all like it's in the back of my mind like okay what that person is gonna think, like that person is also in Instagram, my friend is over there, like I am gonna make this video, I am not gonna repost this video, means that you suppress yourself so much, you suppress your emotions so much that it shows in this way in your life. Yeah, so eventually what happens, the main thing that happen is you lose yourself, and that's a very huge loss, okay, that we people don't think about it. So yeah, you don't need another quotation, you don't need another when you open an Instagram and you read a quote and there is a very popular banging song that is playing, okay, on that story, on that video, and you got very like you hype yourself about it, but that's not you change yourself, okay, that's not how you change yourself. You have to consciously choose every day, every single second, like how that person is going to treat you, or are you going to be in that environment, how are you going to react. You have to consciously train yourself about it, and that's how maybe you कैन और ये सारे जो मसले हैं ना आगे एट द एंड, ये सेल्फ वर्थ के, सेल्फ लव के, सेल्फ इस्टीम के, आपके कॉन्फिडेंस के, दैट्स द रूट ऑफ इट, बिकॉज वी हैव बिकम सो ऑब्सेस्ड विद द अदर वंस, और हम ये कहते हैं कि अगला बंदा बहुत ठीक है, ही कांट बी रॉन्ग अबाउट इट। आई नो इन द इनिशियल ईयर्स ऑफ माई हॉस्टल लाइफ because before that, being a medical student and preparing for MD CAT and all that stuff, um, you don't think about it because life didn't happen at that time. Okay, when you go out, you meet people, you live in this society, you live in the hostel, then you got to know, okay, now you, then you know yourself basically, okay, how you are going to treat others, how you are going to deal with the situations, and then all that, basically that's that's the grooming. Okay, and I'm not saying that you have to be um, perfect from the start. Nobody is perfect, nobody can't be, nobody can be perfect, but you can work on yourself, you can work on your communication skills, and that's another loss of not being yourself, that you do not communicate in the class. I know the people that cannot present in the class, and maybe you have uh, and basically, you know, deep down that, okay, I have this problem, I need to fix it, I am afraid of this situation, and you know deep down, maybe you become uh, you portray yourself as someone else, okay, in front of others, but deep down you know your weakness, you know your shortcomings, and you know that you got to work on yourself. So I think it all, if we all can summarize all of this in one word, and that would be, you got to be yourself. Okay, you are important, you are worthy, your opinions matter, and what you think matters, what you like matters, what you dislike also matters. And if you are being with such group of so-called friends that can't take your opinion, that can't take your wins, then I'm very sorry to say that you got to isolate yourself. Okay, and soon you will be blessed with the right ones. Okay, yeah, so that's the very you can say the important and the very thing that you need in your whole life, wherever you go, it will haunt you, it will definitely, it will make you lose your point somewhere. And there are some people who are introvert, and don't confuse this thing with the introvert person. An introvert person also has her own likes, dislike, her opinions, her thoughts, her ideas, and the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself. There are some people who give this aura that you cannot mess with them. Okay, even if they are quite, yeah. So uh, the purpose of this whole video is that we are here. Okay, we are here, and obviously, maybe you are just like I am. I'm also medical student, and I got to know this whole life scenario, maybe you can say, when I step out of my home. And yeah, so the thing is, you can always work on yourself, you can always groom yourself, and I would like to say this word, that you have to create your own self. Okay, you have to work on yourself, and you have to create yourself. Yeah, that's it. So we will carry on this discussion in the next episodes maybe, but you just got to know that you are worthy, and your opinions matter, your thoughts matter, and you, जब आप अपने आप को खुद इम्पोर्टेंस देंगे, imagine that if you love yourself 20%, then someone is loving you 30%, you will be like, oh my god, that person's love this part of me as well. And you will be like very, you can say, emotional, or you are going to love that, okay? But if you love yourself 50% and someone is coming and he is loving you at like 30%, you will be like, oh no, you gotta love me more, okay, you got to respect me more, okay? And so that's how this thing work. So make sure that when you wake up, when you are doing anything, you are your biggest supporter. You don't need any other person to make you feel worthy. But when you love yourself 100%, 1000%, so then you will not be going to settle for anything less, okay? So it's better to be alone than to be with people who do not see your worth. For those who have, you have to shrink yourself. Make sure that you be alone rather to be with that person, or rather to be with those so-called friends. Yeah. So create yourself, create your own group, create your personality, and then lead your life, okay? And then live your life basically at your fullest. So that's all from my side, and see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.